Hi YouTube, welcome to another episode of On the Road Tuning with me, ACDodd. This time I've got two cars for you. Let's get stuck in. Here we are, Lark Hill. And we've got another nice little Mini. Have a quick look at this one. Nice road car. And this one is a rip-roaring 998. And a quick glance tells us it's got a stage 1 kit, and I think that's about it for modifications. So let's go and talk to the owner and see why he's called us down. Okay, so this is Nigel. All right, so why have you called us down to this nice little car?
Well, because I'm not really happy with the way it's running.
Yep.
And we need it to be running perfect.
Okay, so
That's why we've called you.
Excellent. So what sort of symptoms have you got?
Flat, hesitant. That's about it, just not happy with it.
And lack of power as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, well, let's dig in, see what we can find.
Okay.
Okay, so first impressions of this engine is when I pulled the throttle open, it would hardly rev. So as it turns out, the ignition timing was 16 degrees out. So I pulled up 16 degrees on the timing, the engine now revs, and it looks like we got a full deck of cards to play with. So now what we're going to do is go through the usual. We'll start with the coil, and then the plugs, etc., and see what's what. So, as Nigel said, he told me it's running rich, and he wasn't wrong. Look at the state of those. So what we're going to do, there's some 6s in there as well. I'm going to drop down to a set of 5s, and then obviously I've already leaned the mix up so it doesn't foul the new plugs when they go in. Yeah, very built up, and you can see on number 3 we've actually got a little pile which is starting to build on the end of the electrode as well, with the amount of carbon that was on there. So definitely a candidate for a tune. Right, so I've just put a new set of spark plugs in it, NGK BB5 ES, gapped at 25 thou. As you can see, there's a new lead set on there. The coil was the right one. The dwell angle is spot on, so Nigel fitted those himself and gapped them properly, so that's all good. Now the engine itself is at least revving cleanly and returning to idle. So now what we're going to do is dive into the carburetor fueling and see what's up there. So moving on to the fueling, this one had a damaged needle in it, so it had an AAC needle that had been attacked for fuel that had been stored in there and gone off. So we changed it to an AAE needle, and that was too lean, so I changed it to an AAF needle, and that was still too lean. So now I'm down to modifying. So I've just got a lean spot at about 3,000 RPM, so I'm just trying to take that out. Also, we had a leaking needle valve, so I've had to take the needle valve out and then replace the seat on that one because somebody had already changed the actual the needle itself, but not the seat. So again, the seat had been affected by the fuel that had gone off, which had damaged pitted the seat. So anyway, we're nearly there. I'm just going to get this needle dialed in, and hopefully Nigel can go for a test. So this one's done. We have noticed, I don't know if you noticed there's a little jet of blow-by coming out of the rocker box. So that might be where the engine's been stored for a while. So the rings may not be sealing perfectly. But in terms of everything else, the engine's responding as it should. We're just about where we need to be on the fueling. Okay, so Nigel's been out for a test drive. So what do you think?
Absolutely brilliant. It's well, 300% better than it was.
Excellent.
It's just fantastic.
So what's changed then? Why is it that much better?
Why is it? It's more responsive.
Yep.
And it puts a bigger smile on my face.
And there's more power when you put your foot down, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Smoother?
a lot smoother.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. All right. So would you recommend this service to anyone else?
I would indeed.
Excellent.
Everybody who's got a Mini should come to you.
Well, thank you very much. All right. Anyway, thanks for having me down to tune your car, and I'm glad I could make such a positive impression.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So here we are in Somerset in a little place called Wells, and we've got this lovely road racer. So let's have a quick look inside. All stripped out, race car style, cage, gauges, even a little token stopwatch on the dashboard. So let's have a look under the bonnet. So we have a 1275, as you can hear from the idle, a little bit lopey, so I think we've got a camshaft. So let's have a chat with the owner, Callum, and see why he's called us down. Okay, so this is Callum. So Callum's the owner of that lovely blue road racer. So why have you called us down, Callum?
You know, well, engines have never really been like a strong point of mine, and you're kind of, it's your thing, isn't it? So you're a bit of a godfather and stuff like that. So I thought, you know, get someone to do it properly.
Okay, so what's made you call us down? What's it doing, or what's it not doing?
Well, I've never like really had it set up properly, so I just want to get the most out of it that I can, really.
Okay, so you're basically you're not aware that there's anything in particular wrong with it. You just want us to make sure we can get the most out of it. All right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dig in and see what we can find.
Cool. Thanks.
So first off, having a quick look at this, looks like we've got a 12-volt coil. So I'm going to have a quick check of the resistance of that. It's got a 65D distributor in it. All the usual bits and pieces, single SU and a huge ram pipe. So let's dig in and see where we can start finding some missing performance. So just checking the coil resistance out. Sure enough, we got a 3 ohm coil on a 65D. So we need to change that now for a 0.8 ohm and probably quadruple the output, which will make a huge difference to the way this one runs. Okay, so fitted a new coil. It's under there, under the meter, and then I'm going to go on to just check these HT leads. Now these HT leads don't look too old. However, as you can see, I've got this one on test, and if we look at that, we've got 53k or 52.9 thousand ohms of resistance. I don't think that one is any good whatsoever. And it also just goes to show you, don't judge a book by its cover. Always check and measure. And just to add insult to injury, that's the coil lead, and we're showing 55k. So in order to get from the coil to the spark plug, we would have been about 110k of resistance. I've never ever seen leads that high and an engine still run. So this one's amazed me, so it's just going to make a hell of a difference once we change these. So new set of leads up, and I just thought I would show the resistance of one of the new leads. So that's all connected to the meter, and instead of 50 odd, we've got 1.38. So yeah, that's the power spark leads that I fit and I recommend for A series engines. So just run the engine up, and I've just strobed the engine and to check the advance curve, and we've got a very long advance curve. So we're actually getting 39 degrees of crank advance at the maximum advance. So clearly I can't leave this distributor in because it's going to melt a piston or do something silly to itself. So we're going to change the bottom half of this distributor for a recurved unit, so we can basically shorten that curve and maybe speed it up a touch as well. So let's get dug in and get that changed. So what's wrong with the original distributor? Well, if you look in there, you can see that says 16 degrees. So that's actually going to deliver 32 degrees to the crankshaft. So looking at the springing, that's how this one left the factory, and it's completely the wrong advance curve for this type of engine spec. So what we're going to do now is change it for one of my recurved units. And here we go. As you can see, that one says 18, but most importantly, it's not 18 because it's got that stop soldered on. It's also re-sprung, so it's got very light spring, and a heavy secondary spring. So that is going to give the advanced characteristics and much shorter than what was on it. So the idea is the engine will produce as much torque as it can low down, and then not over advanced as it gets up in the rev range. So let's get this in and get it running. So we're over on the needle lathe now. So that's not the needle that was in the car. It had a BBW needle, which was obviously way too lean. So right the way across the rev range, it was misfire lean. So I've changed it to a BCF, and now I need to modify the needle because it's still too lean at part throttle. So between, I think, 2,000 all the way to 4,000, it's very lean. So we're going to richen that up now, get that back in. It might take me a few goes to get that right, and then we shall hopefully send out Callum and see what he thinks. So, got this one all running, carburetor's dialed in. So all that's left is for Callum to take it for a drive. Right, so Callum's been out in his car now. So you've been out for a test drive. What's it like now?
It's a brand new car. It's the first time I've ever driven it, and it was that exciting. Yeah.
Excellent.
Pretty
So
wicked.
Describe the difference.
Just really responsive. Can definitely feel more power. It's a lot smoother as well. So it's just
okay.
what
It's happy to cruise now at light throttle as well, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't before.
Yeah. It was all jerky when I think you was trying to cruise.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, so much smoother.
Okay, so it's smoothed out, and obviously when you put your foot down,
there's loads. There's a lot more than there was before.
A lot more power. Okay,
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So lastly, would you recommend this service to anyone else?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So anyway, thank you very much for having us down, Callum.
Thank you.
And I was glad I was able to make such a positive difference to your car.
Yeah, wicked. Cheers.
Okay, hope you enjoyed that episode. Interesting there, the first car there shown was suffering actually with the effects of fuel that had gone off. So I had to change the needle, it was pitted. And obviously the seating where the needle valve sits for the float bowl was also affected. So again, I've said to people, if you're going to store a car with fuel in it, then you need to stabilise the fuel, which is why I now sell Stabil Fuel Stabiliser. Anyway, as ever, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.